6 months of grueling competition led to this moment in San Diego, California. The Seattle Seawolves bullied their way into the title game and are looking to repeat as Major League Rugby champions. The San Diego Legion narrowly escaped New York in the semifinals, but the best defense in MLR believe this trophy is their destiny. The Legion and the Seawolves, a champion is crowned today on CBS. Happy Father's Day, and we welcome you to San Diego, California, where today here on CBS we bring you Major League Rugby. It's the Major League Rugby Championship game between the top seed San Diego and the 2 seed Seattle. Let's show you how these two teams advanced last week. San Diego eked one out here on the home pitch. Seattle, they had an easier go of it, setting up a great matchup here today for you on CBS. So good to see you and be with you alongside a man who's played a lot of rugby in his life, USA Eagle, Brian Hightower in his playing days, Stacey Pates down on the field. My name is Ben Holden. It is a pleasure to be with you here today. And Brian, last year San Diego eliminated in the semifinals by Seattle. Then Seattle comes here and wins the championship. Little payback, I suppose, today, right?
Yeah, this is exactly what you want. 20 weeks of the MLR and the two most talented teams competing in the final. Compelling matchups, 1 through 15 today. Too close to call.
Well, let's take a look back at last week and how they advanced. Drama, it was all over here last week.
Yeah, the agony for New York, the ecstasy for San Diego as JP Duplessis picks up the scraps, scores the game winner. Joe Peterson kicks a conversion. Too good at home. And then Seattle. Talk about laying the wood. The big Fijian hitman, Apasai Nakatini, just taking out white jerseys and opening up space for the likes of Jeff Hassler. Today's going to be a good one, Ben.
It should be a great game here on Father's Day as we bring you rugby here on CBS. San Diego, no championship's been won in this city since '63. They're trying to change that. Seattle trying to go back-to-back.
The Major League Rugby Championship on CBS Sports is sponsored by Roman, a digital health clinic for men. Let's take care of it. F45 Training. Find a studio near you on F45training.com. And by Dark Phoenix, in theaters now. Rated PG-13.
Very unique look of downtown San Diego from I-5. It runs parallel to the Pacific Coast Highway here in beautiful Southern California. Brian, those that are new to rugby, take us through the key rules.
Yeah, welcome to the game they play in heaven here. No forward pass is pretty easy, either laterally or backwards for the passing. Then the restarts here, the set pieces. A scrum is one way to get play started. A line out when the ball goes into touch or out of bounds, as we call it. And then this is the goal. Score a try, cross the goal line, dot it down, and then the conversion happens from where the try was scored. Likewise, a penalty kick occurs from where the penalty occurred. That's where you got to tee it up. Pretty simple stuff.
So look at the key rules here in the MLR. Look at this place, a beautiful stadium. It is jam-packed. And Brian, the power guys up front, the forwards, who do you like amongst this group for San Diego?
Yeah, this is where it's all going to start, Ben. Sorry to interrupt there, but Louis Stanfield, keep your eyes on number 4. He's the kind of guy who can move a pile.
And the backs, those are the speed guys, make a lot of things happen. Who do you like there?
Tayanosa, number 15, has to have a huge game, but number 10, Joe Peterson, pure silk, and he's going to control this.
All right, for the defending champions here in Major League Rugby, the power guys, the 8 forwards. Who stands out there, Brian?
Opposite Nakatini, number 4, had a huge game last week, has to repeat that performance in the first half.
And the 7 backs, who grabs your eyes? Who do you like to watch and who are key today?
Well, again, number 15, Matt Turner, but Seema at number 10 has to have the game of his life. A lot of pressure there.
He was great last week in their win over Toronto. Our referee for the match today is Scott Green. 2nd straight year he's done the MLR Championship. Anthony Woodthorpe and Elgin Williams, the assistant referees today. Seattle, you got to look at them and their colors. San Diego, what a turnout, Brian.
I got goosebumps just from the anthems. All the kids out here, 4- and 5-year-olds playing mini rugby, all with the player during the anthems. And the packed crowd. This is exactly what the U.S. needs to grow rugby.
Getting a first-hand look for it here on CBS with Brian Hightower, Stacey Pates, all of our crew. My name is Ben Holden. Set for the kickoff. It'll be Seema to drop it and boot it from the halfway line. And a short kick fielded right at the 22-meter line, equivalent to the 20-yard line in American football by Furno, who was great last week, had a try in the win in that semifinal win over Rugby United New York.
Box kick straight away from Nate Augsburger, and Matt Turner passes the first test in the air for Seattle.
Turner wearing that number 15 jersey, powering ahead is Sears Daru. That's Justice Sears Daru. Gets it back for Seema. And there's Nakatini, who you talked about. Got dropped.
Yeah, and you gotta love the smallest player on the field tackling the biggest player on the field. This is what Seattle did last week. They played territory. They were off the foot of Ben Seema to establish a beachhead inside the San Diego half. Or last week it was the Toronto half. We'll see if they try to mirror that structure from last week.
So a line out coming up here for San Diego. It'll be triggered by KP Piffoletti.
He's struggled a little bit in the throws. He's great in the open field, Piffoletti. He keeps getting better in the throws, in the lineouts, and he has to have a great day today.
Those watching for the first time, this is an awesome part of this game as Furno went up high, got it back there for Augsburger, who put it up in the air and up high to get it. Seattle. Ball taken out of there by the scrum half, number 9, J.P. Smith. Now Seema on the outside. Barton trying to charge ahead. The big boy gets near the 22-meter line, just shy of it. Seattle still in possession of it. And the whistle halts play here.
Yeah, first knock on. We're going to see the first scrum. This is going to be one of the compelling pieces of this game. Tight head props wearing number 3, Metcher versus Ryan.
All right. right, third member of our broadcast team, as I mentioned, Stacey Pate. Stacey, what do you have on the pitch?
My goodness. First of all, the energy is going to be like this all day. I can't wait to tell you guys all about it throughout the match. The season series has been owned by the home team, San Diego Legion, by 2 games of 6 and 4 points, respectively. I spoke with the head coach of Seattle, Richie Walker, about those close margins. He said, Stace, that has been on our minds all week. So one of the things they're focusing on are taking some of the newer Legion guys out of the game early by causing them to get penalties, which has been the Achilles heel of San Diego all season.
And last year was the other way around, as Seattle, they took both games and won the championship out of the scrum. Augsburger plays it back, and it's booted away with a right foot by Peterson. Waiting under it, Hassler, and Turner sends one high back the other way.
Go on now, thank you.
Great kick, and Joe Peterson calls the mark there. Yeah, and that is, it's just good territorial kicking by Seattle, trying to pin San Diego down.
So when you do that, when you call mark, again, in American football terms, similar to a fair catch.
Has to happen inside the 22-meter
right?
line. Yep. And, well, I tell you what, first of all, you got to come up and make a first big hit. It gets rid of the jitters. That's what every player on this one, they just want to feel their shoulders in contact. The butterflies seem to go away after that. This could come down to those penalties. Both teams have great penalty kickers, Ben.
Yep. Peterson there a moment ago. He was so big for them last week. Nailed that conversion as Penny goes up high on the line out. Nakatini over the halfway line. Taken out of there by J.P. Smith. Standing up nicely there. Good work at the halfway line there by Moneyhera, Jordan Moneyhera. Now Seema the right foot. He was dynamite last week in their win over Toronto. Now Peterson. This one will come into touch on the bench side.
Seema almost goes quick with that one, but you can see right now both teams kind of feeling each other out in the air. It's a kind of a cool day here in San Diego, and that lends itself well to receiving these kicks. May not have as much on the ball off the foot, but normally in this stadium there's a bright glare from the sun.
And you said it in the open, 1 against 2. Something's got to give, Brian.
Yeah, and a lot of feeling each other out. So far, no big hits yet, but, you know, you play a little tight sometimes in a final.
Off the line out, Nakatini over the halfway line, taken down by Moneyhera. Ball quickly out of there. The speed of this game is amazing. And Moneyhera just cleaned the ball carrier there. He's down at the halfway line.
Yeah, it's Brock Stoller. He came in off the blindside wing. Moneyhera delivers the first massive hit of this game. You can see the players congratulating him, not celebrating the injury, but celebrating the hit. Watch this again. Bam! Moneyhera, he's one of the guys who has to step up today. Been a little bit quiet, has the big man from New Zealand, but that is the great way to start the momentum. Joe Peterson going to tee one up and try to get 3 points on the board for San Diego.
He is indeed, and you said it, Brian. Brock Stoller, the one that is down. He did not play in the final last year. He was unable to go, had a concussion.
Well, I'll tell you what, Richie Walker, he's made a gamble. Last week he made the same gamble. 6 forwards and only 2 backs in the reserve bench for Richie Walker. So they got to keep their backs healthy, because if anyone gets hurt in the first half in a high-numbered jersey, it's going to be a long day for Walker in the coaching box.
Here is 35-year-old Joe Peterson, the product of Cape Town, South Africa, looking for the first points here in the MLR Championship. And Peterson comes through, the flags go up, and San Diego's on top by a score of 3-0.
And now the Legion get to relax a little bit. It means so much to get those first few points on the board. Watch Jordan Moneyhera wearing the number 8. There's the pass back inside. It was a set move from the blindside wing, but Jordan Moneyhera reads it perfectly and nails Brock Stoller. And Stoller back up on his feet, looks good. You got to be tough to play this game. And Stoller looks like he's going to be fine.
Well, Seema, drop kick from the halfway line. San Diego gets the ball back, so it's make it take it, so to speak. Duplessis got it, dragging the defender. He is so fun to watch. Had that try last week to tie things at 22 before Peterson put the conversion through to give him the 2-point win. That one almost blocked. High up into the air it goes. You mentioned it, partner, not much wind here at all. And into touch it goes on the far touchline.
Well, and that ball, it's a bit of a gamble from San Diego. They're not putting a whole lot of distance on their box kicks, but that one, Sam Wu-Ching taps it back, and then it's knocked on by Seattle, and the net is that San Diego is going to get the line out here. Pipoletti to throw it in. He nailed his first throw. We'll see if he can repeat.
40-minute halves here. We're 7.5 in. San Diego, a 3-0 lead on the kick by Joe Peterson. Up high to get it, and it's pulled down nicely by the Legion. Hassler up to get it, took a shot right there. Waiting was Lou Stanfill. Taken out of there from the back. What ensues there?
Brad Tucker. Ben Sema back in the pocket. Looks like he's going to kick once again.
He's in the scrum cap. Instead it's the scrum half, J.P. Smith, that boots it high. Peterson right back down into Seattle territory.
Oh, that's a beauty. All day long for Joe Peterson. If you give Joe Peterson that kind of time, check this out. Hassler on the ground, Stanfill licking his chops.
He's a player you really like, I know, from listening to you in previous games.
Anybody who knows Big Lou knows how great a person he is. By the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers on the field. Lou Stanfill, Kramer, his wife, expecting his second. Little Hayes left at home in Sacramento, and I think Kramer's on scene today to watch her husband. Love seeing him back in the rugby jersey. Calms him down as a husband at home. Hear that, wives? Let your husbands play more rugby.
Let them play on the pitch, play rugby. That's a good way to calm down, right? This one goes into touch on the far side.
There's a gamble here, and the kicking game going on between both sides. Some of that is meant to keep the backs honest, and if you can keep them turning, then space is going to open up once you start putting the ball through the hands. I like Joe Peterson to win this battle in the backfield. You got to watch it.
Get down to Stacy for more. Stacy.
Well, I don't know if the wives would agree with you guys on the whole calming thing, but what I do want to point out is the sense of calm that I felt watching both of these teams warm up, and I spoke to Ben Sema about it specifically. I said, hey, buddy, how did you sleep last night? He said, like a baby. He took about 20 kicks, I estimated, and he said everyone is just so chill, so calm. They were ready for this matchup. Same thing I heard from the San Diego side.
That's great stuff. Thank you, Stacy. And it's taken away. There's that guy again. Bonihera gets it.
Well, Samu Manoa, he telegraphs the pass outside. Oh, big hit.
Stanfill's got it. Played it back for Patty Ryan. Patty Ryan takes on Nakatini, and Ryan's still going. Was dragged down by Turner. Dug out of there and played into the hands of Odie Pipoletti. Enosa gives it off to Boyer. Boyer down, you have to release in this game as soon as the tackle's made, and ideally you have to put that ball behind you for your teammates to come in and get it. Taken out of there by Augsburger, the former Minnesota Golden Gopher. There's a kick, and Peterson.
One of the ways he can score is a drop kick. We've seen this actually a couple times in the NFL before, but Joe Peterson tees one up, figures it's a free shot, might as well take it, and it just drifts past the left post. Watch the hit here. Suniula comes up hard on Peterson and delivers the shoulder there. Peterson gets up. Looks like checking his tongue for a little blood, maybe.
Wow.
Hey, sometimes that has the effect of just waking you up, maybe stealing
the adrenaline even more, right?
Yeah, steals your resolve a little bit. I like that. And Suniula going to come up. He's going to deliver.
2 balls, guys.
Love that about this game, the respect the players have for one another and the scoring breakdown. You get a try, that's 5 points. You get it over the try line. The conversion after is 2, penalty kick 3, drop goal 3, as Brian just mentioned. That's what Peterson tried, and if it's a penalty try, it's 7. You get the conversion automatically.
So the ball goes dead past the dead ball line here from Peterson's kick. So it's a 22-meter dropout from Sema. just got to be drop kicked. Doesn't matter how far it goes across that 22-meter line, and this one goes deep to Peterson.
It does. Joe Peterson surveys, and he'll put it high in the air. His guy's on the run, looking to make a play up into the air. Seattle, they come down with the ball. Nakatini saying, let him put it out. They get it out of there. Hassler plays it back to Sema. Now Barton near side. Barton, the big boy, got it back. And into the hands there of Staller, who was down a few minutes ago, but he's a tough customer and back in the game.
We talk about line speed. Line speed is when the defensive line, when it's connected, comes up in a wave when the ball is played. And look at the big red wave that comes up every time the ball gets played out of the back of the ruck.
They call it the big red wall here in San Diego. Of course, they call it the seawall in Seattle. Their defense, Manihera's been very active and quite involved here so far. Number 8 for San Diego.
So penalty goes to Seattle, and this will be a good opportunity for them to clear their lines a little bit, take a breath, and get into San Diego territory. The pressure's come all from the Legion so far.
Yeah.
Seattle hasn't done a very good job of dealing with that pressure.
They have not. This one kicked into touch there by Van Sema, and the touch judge going to spot this one just over the halfway line.
There's a shot comes a little high there from Augsburger on Matt Turner.
Stand line, please.
Penalty advantage. You can see the referee's arm out there to play it. All right, just across the halfway line, and Kotsia threw a strike before. We mentioned the set pieces. They got to be good today for both sides.
Saw the territory percentages so far. Nakatini taken down, mooching in there on the tackle, dug out by Smith. Now Sema boots one high, right down in front of us. Got a great vantage point here. Ball went into the hands there of Manihera. Ruck ensues, and it's taken out of there by Augsburger. He's quickly taken down by Hadding.
Yeah, and that's a high tackle on Riekert Hadding. So the advantage quickly blown up by Scott Green, the referee.
High tackle, you have to be below the shoulders.
Yeah, and this is pretty easy to call right there in front of the referee.
That's,
no doubt about it.
Yep.
And some help from Scott Green. We have assistant refs on both touch lines as well, and they can spot these fouls if the referee on field, Scott Green, doesn't see him. They put their touch flag out.
Yep.
And they'll have a little conversation.
Excuse me, Brian. Those gentlemen are Anthony Woodthorpe and Elgin Williams. There's Joe Peterson, the veteran. Clutch last week with that kick to propel San Diego here to the championship game on their home pitch. So line out coming up here for San Diego. Shifting into position, Murno, he is a big young lad, gets up to get it. Manihera's got it. Augsburger plays it back for Peterson. Peterson looking for an opening. Barton the first to get to him. He's near the 5 meter, about 3 meters shy of it. Now Patty Ryan, the big boy, he's spun down with authority.
No hands. Let it go now, no hands. Up.
Ball dug out of there. Stanfield plays it back for the speedy Tyanosa. Now Peterson to the near side. San Diego trying to get close and get a try here worth 5 points. Slowed up though was Nick Boyer. Now Manihera inside of the 5 meter. Augsburger gets it out of there. They power their way ahead. Down on the ground, Augsburger gets it out. Finds Duplessis, nice pass there. And Duplessis goes down.
Just wait, boys.
Just a mass of bodies in there as it comes out of there. The battle continues inside of the 5 meter.
This is where the big boys like to go to work. They see the line, they're not going to pass it to the back.
No.
They want to control this one themselves.
Trying to power it in there. San Diego. Battle just continues on. Taken out of there. Putting his head down is Furno. And he powers in for the try.
That's held on. No try, says the referee. The ball's held up. Furno never got a chance to ground it. That's great bend but no break defense by Seattle. You can't just cross the line. You also have to put the ball down, and Furno can't find the grass.
What a stand by Seattle, and their fans loving that, Brian.
Italian team, national player, 37 caps for the big man wearing the number 5, but held up. And if you're the ref and you can't see clear grounding, you're not going to award that try. A lot of people here in the stands thought, like you did, Ben, that it was a try.
There's a good look at Furno. Last week had his first try in his second match with the Legion. He's a big-time player.
So it's going to come back to a 5-meter scrum, and this is where we forecast this matchup. The two tight head props wearing number 3, Tim Metcher, the Aussie from Seattle, and Patty Ryan, the Aussie from San Diego, going toe-to-toe.
Seattle number 1 in the MLR in scrums at 95.6. San Diego 5th at 88.3 for those into the numbers. They're bound in there. You have to use your feet to get it back. And it's taken out of there nicely. Now Peterson, he's stopped. Ball comes out. Augsburger trying to burrow his way toward the try line. Furno, and Seattle comes away with it. And they're going to kick this one into the seats.
That is huge, huge defense. The deflection of the pressure from Seattle. Watch the turnover here as Furno tries to go over, but the ball's ripped out. It's a knock-on, advantage being played, and it'll be a line out. And Shalom Suhiola puts the boot to it. They're a lot more comfortable playing outside the 22-meter line. You watch that scrum, though, absolute stalemate. Both teams trying to get the advantage, and they're absolutely going nowhere.
If they just take half a step, mate, yeah, that's good there. Thanks, bud.
Message delivered there to KP Piffoletti, the 20-year-old. On this line out for San Diego. Furno up high to get it. Back to Augsburger. On to Duplessis. Duplessis, a little fake there. Taken down by Manoa. Now into the hands of Stanfield. Patty Ryan dropped just shy of the 22-meter line. Augsburger pulls it out of there. Furno gets it back. Dug free. Now Piffoletti. Submarine there as he got hit down low. Peterson now. Som Wuching. Referee Scott Green closing it here.
Yeah, Barton off his feet.
You have to roll quicker, yeah.
Tackler never rolled away. So some big hits coming up from J.P. Smith wearing the number 9 jersey there. San Diego's had all the ball. Peterson already calls for the tee, going to try to put another 3-pointer on the board, but you would think that with the amount of possession that San Diego's had, granted, tries are going to be hard to come by in this game.
Looks that way, indeed.
But they've had a lot of the possession. There's Som Wuching going up against J.P. Smith. You talk about a find. Som Wuching played for the University of Washington. He was a Husky linebacker. Had a chance to go in the NFL, Ben, and decided to play this game instead. It's the beautiful game. Why wouldn't you play it?
After the kick was good.
Terrific. He was 4th in the NCAA in sacks he was in 2016. So here's Peterson now, trying to tack on another 3 here for the Legion. The right boot into it, and Peterson right down Broadway there to make it 6-0 San Diego, Brian.
If you haven't seen Joe Peterson play rugby before, he's done this all year. He is absolutely fearless, and it's because of his experience.
Midway point has been reached here in the first half. The home squad, San Diego, on top of the defending champion, Seattle, 6-0. Good, man? You good? Me too, man. Love it. Say again, Carlo? Got it. Yup. Got it. Anything in specific I can throw to her on, or who's she talking with?
Yep.
A little more than halfway through this opening half of play. San Diego on top of Seattle by a score of 6-0. Be sure to check out 20th Century Fox's film Dark Phoenix. The Phoenix will rise, the X-Men will fall, now playing, rated PG-13. Down to Stacey Pates on the pitch with a special guest. Stacey.
A key component missing for the San Diego Legion is Dylan Audsley out with a fractured fibula. Now, when you take inventory of this first half, what are you seeing from your guys?
We're playing some really good rugby right now. You know, we just have to finish them off. They played some good defense at the end of the 20 minutes there. I think the key is we just keep doing what we're doing and keep tacking away, and eventually we'll get the win, hopefully so, yeah.
One of my favorite visions from Dylan after they won the semifinal was he was hopping on his good leg to join his team. He said if they win today, he will crawl if he has to. Thanks, Dylan.
I'm sure he will, Stacey. And the Legion also without Mikey Te'o, a very dynamic and special player for them at the fullback position. But the Legion so far, Brian Hightower, looking pretty good in this match.
Well, finally a break goes to the Seawolves, a knock-on from the kick. And finally, Seattle going to play some rugby inside the San Diego 22. Take another look here. Yep. Furno goes into contact. Hassler comes in, puts the hit on, and then Samu Manoa. And I'm telling you, when 300 pounds of Samu Manoa comes bearing down on you, you don't want the ball. You'd give it to him. I'd just hand it to him.
You ready? Yep.
He is a big, big boy, is Manoa. So the scrum, let's listen in.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Scrum half, J.P. Smith rolls it in.
You hold it up here, boys. Keep working. Good job.
And Smith got it back. Barton ahead. Barton inside of the 5-meter, and a big chunk picked up there for Seattle. Now the Seawolves, they're stymied. They get it free. Nakatini gives it off. And towards the try line. And it's Stefan Kutsi that gets it. 5 points for Seattle. They're right back in the game, Brian.
So often in this game, we see the score created by the work of others, and the first is the break by George Barton. Watch the big red-headed Canadian international player. Great pass from the base there to Barton. He starts things out, then good hands by Manoa. Difficult pass to catch, and then finally Kutsia from Nakatini, and he goes over. Nothing San Diego can do to stop that. That's a great team try, and the kind of momentum swing that Seattle's been looking for. Haven't had a whole lot of ball to play with, Ben.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, they're looking dangerous, though.
They certainly are. His 8th try of the season for the 26-year-old South African. Now Stoller comes on. Brock Stoller, first in Major League Rugby in points scored, 217. The conversion is always in line with where the try was scored. Ideally, you want to get it between the posts, but when you got a guy with a boot like that, you can do it from just about anywhere, right?
Yeah, Stoller been so good all year. Shaken up early, and he's back to play. And look at the try. Kutsia crosses the line, dots it down. Easy for Scott Green to call. And Seattle so happy, and look at them.
Travel well.
Yeah, it's Little Starfire Stadium. Has traveled all the way from the Emerald City.
Match on, 7-6 Seattle. Hassler, who was dazzling last week, has the ability to break away and be a game changer in an instant. Get it outside of their own 22 is Seattle. Smith back to Seema. That right boot. Coming to the near touch and goes into the bench area.
Yeah, and this is Seattle's game plan.
Yep.
Happy to do this, happy to use the foot of Ben Sema, JP Smith to get territory. And we saw the productive results from the Josh Furno turnover earlier, but that's what they want to do. Put the ball in San Diego's half and play from there.
Line out coming up here for San Diego. Had a 6-0 lead, now 7-6 after the try by Cutsy.
So far, both teams have won all of their set pieces, 4 for 4. Capelli, Pifoletti in throws so far.
Here he goes, triggers it in there, taken away, knocked away nicely by Hatting in there.
I jinxed him.
Broadcaster jinx, it happens. Ball taken out, Sema. Short touch downfield and rolls out into touch.
Again, beautiful touch finder by Sema, and he did this last week against Toronto. Look at Riekert Hatting. Go up, stretch across the line. It's just a bad throw. We talked about Pifoletti. It's been the one area that he's been a little bit weak. It could be communication. So much going on in the line out there. Looks like he just underthrows it. Hatting stretches out and pulls the ball, and now it's across the 22-meter line again for the Seawolves.
Hatting with a second half try in last year's championship game against Glendale. Put his team up by 1 in that game. And this one here in 2019, Seattle on top, 7-6 here. Furno, 6-7, man, they can get him up in the air high. Fun to watch.
San Diego sets the maul here.
And it continues, the beauty of this game.
Through the middle.
Still going, ball came out, Seattle comes away with it.
Great work by the Seattle forwards.
Suniola releasing Smith, and right into the hands there, came free, and now Sema's gonna play it down the pitch.
Give him back here, boys.
Oh, that's gonna roll dead. So a little bit too much juice on that one from Sema. He wasn't expecting the ball. Samu Manoa bobbles it, finds the first green jersey and dumps it to Sema. So because the ball rolled dead from where it was kicked, it'll be a scrub to San Diego from the spot of the kick.
Yep. There's Richie Walker, the San Diego native. Watching from up top.
He's a New Zealand native, but he's been in San Diego for quite a while.
Yeah.
Richie Walker was about to get on a plane and coach the women's team here in Chula Vista, the sevens team, and was about to get on a plane to New Zealand at the end of last year, and he got a call from Shane Skinner, Adrian Belfour from Seattle. They said, hey man, you still got a whistle? Come on up to Seattle, and Richie's done a great job.
Of course, last year Phil Mack, who's on their roster, involved in the coaching duties as well.
Yeah, if you know Phil Mack, he's pacing the sidelines like a lion, waiting for his chance to come into this game.
Rolled into the scrum there by Augsburger.
Again, stalemate at the scrum. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Peterson now. Here come the Legion on the move over the halfway line. Barton the tackle. He's easy to find out there. Is Barton the big redhead?
No, you're holding him there, Jordan. Don't hold him there, mate.
Augsburger, Duplessis dragging Smith. Picked up what he could before he was dropped.
Backwards, play on.
2 converge there on the ball carrier. Stanfield's got it now.
Stanfield doesn't know any other direction besides forward.
Here's Patty Ryan.
Oh!
And the ball came out. Seattle's got it now. And Turner still on his feet. Got away from Peterson initially. Bounced back, goes right between the wickets there.
Referee's going to go back to the knock-on from Patty Ryan. You talk about little Shalom Suniula. He's given up a few pounds here. Well, he's also helped out by that.
Yes.
Hey, look, if you get Samu Manoa to help you in a tackle, bring him on any day.
He's 285. Ryan's 265.
Yeah, I don't think Manoa is 285. I think that might be a little
inflated.
Thin. Yeah, he might be doctoring the stats a little bit. I think he goes closer to 3 bills.
All right. Maybe he's dropped a few.
He looks pretty good. You know, came back.
He does.
Spent some time in Europe, and he was there for a long time, playing for Northampton and Toulon. Came back. Loves being back in the U.S. on the West Coast, and one of the first names that Gary Gold, the U.S. head coach, put on his list for the World Cup squad.
Here is a great look at the scrum from pitch level. They're going to have to reset here, says Scott Green, the referee.
Well, take a look at the reserves. And
yes.
In particular, number 19, we talk about Samu Manoa, 300 pounds. Well, Siasi Mahoney is 6'8", 300 pounds.
That's
coming
all?
on the bench from San Diego. And some good ones. Phil Mack, if he comes on the bench, a spark always. And Roland Suniula will come in for George Barton at some point because the big Canadian can't run for 80 minutes. And there's Phil Mack.
Yep.
He's just waiting. Put me in, coach. Put me in.
I'm ready to play. Get me on the pitch. Coming up on 10 minutes remaining in the first half of this match. Smith takes it out of the back onto Stoller. Anosa trying to rip the ball out of there. Smith gets it onto the hands of Manoa. He gave the ball up.
And offsides, JP Duplessis there, so it's a gift here. You got to play aggressive, but this is a discipline issue. JP Duplessis needs to leave that one alone because this is going to give Seattle the ball likely inside the 22-meter line if SEMA strikes it well.
Well, in Seattle, coming into this championship match, first in the MLR with 183 penalties. Had 11 last week in their game against Rugby United New York.
Just outside the 22-meter line. How about Stoller? The first time he came in off the wing, he got met pretty hard by Manahara.
He did.
Good ball skills there from Manoa. And then Duplessis, look at him. The ruck still formed. Rieger padding. You see the scrum cap from the man in green. He's protecting the ball. The ruck is still formed. JP Duplessis does not have rights to that ball, although it looks pretty juicy.
Line out here for Seattle. They go short on it. It's got to go 5 meters, and it did. And in for the try. Is he in there?
Well, Scott Green's going to check to see if the ball went 5 meters first.
Yes, right. It's got to go 5 meters from that line out.
A little bit of trickery there.
Are we happy that the ball's travelled 5 there?
Yeah. If you feel we need to check, I'm happy. I'm feeling the decision to try.
Okay, I think we'll check.
Okay.
There's a little uncertainty about it. The ball travelled 5. Okay. We're going to go upstairs, TMO.
We do it to the TMO, television match official.
Okay, Dave, my decision is a try.
Is the TMO official.
We need to check
what he's going to check is, did the ball travel 5 meters at the line out?
Let's see.
There is the hash mark.
Thank you.
That is 5 meters for sure.
Yep.
And a trick play.
Beautiful.
JP Smith comes in. He's playing scrum half here. Takes the short ball. All the forwards were fooled, looking for the throw to another forward. And JP Smith.
A lot of JPs. They're both good.
And they're both South African.
Yes. JP Smith, if this stands, be a 5-point try. Is that foot in any way, does that matter, that left foot,
I think,
Brian?
he puts his right foot down. He's got the ball in his hands. I think that's going to be a try.
There's Smith, hoping it stands.
And it does, because Brock Stoller.
Yes, go ahead, Dave.
Teeing up.
Okay, confirming on-field decision, try, award the try.
So there's the official word, as the referee always has it in the great sport of rugby, and it's 12-6 now.
Yeah, great job. You know, for me, NFL, if you're watching this, this is how you do it. You get someone upstairs to tell you the call to make.
Yes.
You make it quickly, you move on. You don't need an official to go under the hood. You just need somebody, another referee, looking at the screen to tell you what decision to make. It speeds it up. That's just my humble opinion.
Understood. So Brock Stoller trying to extend this lead to 8. Stands at 6 now. The try worth 5, the conversion worth 2. On comes San Diego. They won't get there. Stoller's boot is up and good. And Seattle, after being down 6-0, Brian, now up 14-6.
Just a beautiful called move there.
That was a great play.
And you know, you practice something like this and you never think you're going to be able to pull it off on game day, but the window is that they call the play because every red shirt is looking inside for the throw. Great call by Stephen Coetzee and JP Smith.
Crafty indeed. Seattle on top in this game, this match, by 8. Ball inside of their 22-meter.
No, stay out, boys. Stay out, thank you.
Peterson will take this on the hop.
Yep, lowest box kick you've
Come
ever
out,
seen.
Reed. Keep on coming out.
This one in the air, collision. San Diego comes away with it, or is it knocked on?
Yeah, it's knocked on in the air, and you can see it. A great contest in the air, and this is what both teams are trying to do. Trying to get the competition where the ball just lands perfectly so that an oncoming player can get in the air higher than the receiver.
Here's the knock on as we look back.
Yeah, who else? Joe Peterson goes up for that ball. A great competition in the air with JP Smith, but the ball goes forward off of Peterson.
So the scrum will be set. Six to play in the first half.
These scrums have not moved more than an inch or two.
Championship match here in the Major League Rugby. Rolled in by Smith.
Stay.
Comes out. Smith has it. Seattle's got all the momentum. Suniola now boots it downfield. In the waiting hands of Peterson. Gets the ball on there to Connor Kearns. Sends it up high. Up into the air goes Seema as he was hit there by Kearns, Brian.
And Kearns had his head in the sky. And he takes out Seema. This might be a yellow card. You cannot hit a player in the air, even if it's unintentional, which it was. Looked like Kearns just trying to time his jump, but he misses it.
Let's look back.
Take a look again. Kearns, head in the sky, still looking up, looking up, makes his jump, never sees Seema, takes him out.
So what do I have? I have the red player jumping late, hitting the number 10, Green. In here, he's come down, landed on his backside first. Something a penalty only in the middle here. Yeah, you agree with that? Okay.
So we'll listen to Scott Green. He's going to go out and give an explanation here. Love that part of this game.
Time's on, Joey.
Peterson in.
Well, I'll tell you what, and San Diego's going to get a break here because it sounds like Scott Green says penalty only.
It's just a timing issue. Yeah. However, Red has hit the man in the air, so it's going to be a penalty only here against your, I think, 9 or 14, was it?
11. No,
14 Red. Penalty here, playing the man in the air. Okay?
There's the verdict.
You know, and this is good refereeing. Scott Green does not want to make a decision that's going to have an impact on the game. You can see.
Dangerous contact.
Yeah, and I've seen this call go either way. Dangerous contact, could be a yellow card, and then it's going to be 10 minutes in the bin for Connor Kearns. But 15 on 15 is going to stay that way, penalty only.
And Seema with that right foot sends it down the pitch. Let's get down to Stacy.
Another one of my favorite things about this game of rugby, we just heard how Scott Green handled that, looking at the big picture. What fans at home did not see that I was able to witness was the conversation between Seema and Connor Kearns immediately after that hit. First things first, Kearns made sure Seema was okay. Seema returned the favor and said, hey, I know it was not intentional. That is the kind of sportsmanship that makes the MLR extra special, guys.
No doubt about it. I love that about this sport, Brian.
Yeah, Stacey, you wouldn't expect anything less from a former captain of Oxford University to be nothing but a gentleman.
Right.
Connor Kearns.
And a scholar, right?
Absolutely.
Off the line out.
Dangerous here for San Diego, and it goes the way of the Legion. They needed a break here. It's been all the pressure from Seattle. They've gotten all the breaks. They've earned the ball inside the San Diego half, and now they got to work their way back out. And if you think about this half so far, first 20 minutes it was all San Diego, but they only came away with 6, and then suddenly Seattle's poured it on in the last 15. San Diego needs to figure out a way to swing the momentum before halftime.
In your mind, how do they do that?
Okay, boys,
well,
ready?
There have been a few penalties, some silly ones. We saw the one by JP du Plessis just trying to get a little bit over eager and then hold on to the ball. We've seen a few balls spilled in the contact area.
Scrum for San Diego. It'll be rolled in here by their scrum half, Nate Augsburger. Product of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, use it now, it's stable. Stationary. Stay.
Just a mass of humanity, and it comes out of there back to Peterson. And this one will be kicked into
Now, yes.
touch in the front row down below us.
Another great touch finder by Peterson. And that's about all you can get off the boot there.
10 on those box kicks. Okay, you're inside that 10, you're liable to be penalised.
There's Scott Green there relaying a message to big Josh Furno. There's Joe Peterson. 3 minutes and counting left here in the first half of this match. 2018 champion Seattle on top of San Diego by 8. Catini had it knocked out of his hands, and he falls on it. Ball squirts free to San Diego, but
you're off your feet.
Yeah, and that's Joseph Varamalua. The ball's on the ground. He's trying to get away with it because Scott Green's on the other side of the ruck. I tell you what, Nakatini doesn't have room to breathe there when he takes the ball from the line out, and it's because the pressure by Augsburger. And look, if your job is, as Augsburger is about 5'8", 5'9", and he's got to take down Nakatini every time he receives the ball, you better get up into his face before he has time to get his legs moving. And Augsburger's done a great job.
So 6'5" and 260 is what I have for Nakatini. That right? That accurate in your mind?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter.
He looks bigger than that, though.
Once he starts getting once he starts snorting and moving forward and getting those knees pumping, you don't want any part of that thing.
What a great match, and what an unbelievable turnout here in San Diego. Jam-packed here at Torero Stadium. Beautiful pictures, courtesy of our director, Matt Plundo, and all of our great crew here at CBS. Up high, Nakatini down with it.
It's a maul.
The maul ensues. And driving ahead as Seattle comes out. JP Smith finds Barton. Barton had some speed trying to split two defenders there.
That's fine.
Ball down on the pitch. Diving in, everybody trying to find it. Augsburger, he came away with it somehow.
Oh, great ball over the top by Stanfield, but Mattias can't find the handle.
Mattias now will kick it away. Turner, he'll play it just over the halfway line. Turner, dangerous play, but he got it away. Peterson now. Called mark there again, I presume.
All the way.
Boy, I tell you what, if I'm San Diego, I like running it into the left corner there. Got a bunch of forwards out to the Seattle's right. Peterson calls the mark, and that's just part of the game plan.
Yeah. Good touch that one goes.
If San Diego could have gotten their backs aligned out to the left, that was green light for me.
Final 20 seconds here in the first half of this championship match. Seattle on top by 8 after trailing 6-0 on 2 kicks by Joe Peterson.
Stefan Kotsia has been perfect in the line out. I tell you what, it's been part of the success of this Seattle team. They have been deadly from this set piece, including the tricky line out that sprung JP Smith. They've been mixing it up great. They'll go to Nakatini, they'll go to Riekert Hatting.
Up high, they pull it down. Hatting got it, now Seaman's got it. Big George Barton, 2 on him there. Barton to the halfway line. Ruck ensues over the top. Taken out of there by Smith. Now Riekert Hatting. He's dropped by Patty Ryan.
Stay here, boys, just wait. Thank you.
Smith puts it high into the air with a left foot. Peterson under it. Turner down there quickly. And he called mark again here.
Great pressure by Matt Turner. And Peterson going to put this one out, end the half, go to the locker room.
And that is indeed the end of the half. And San Diego led 6-0. Seattle, though, comes back with 14. And they lead 14-6 here in the MLR championship game. That's the end of the half with the score. 14-6 Seattle. You're watching the Major League Rugby Championship on CBS.
downstairs, eh? Yeah, stay downstairs, mate. It's right here somewhere, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, it's real loud. I'm having a hard time hearing, so I apologise if it's funky on Wayne. I think we've got the systems right here. Yep. Right. Take a seat, eh?
Next weekend here on CBS, we head to TPC River Highlands in Connecticut. Some of the best golfers in the world compete at the Travelers Championship. Next weekend here on CBS, we head to TPC River Highlands in Connecticut. Some of the best golfers in the world compete at the Travelers Championship on CBS. Back here in San Diego, California, here at halftime, this 1-against-2 seed in this MLR Championship, San Diego and Seattle. Outside of our broadcast position, alongside former USA Eagle Brian Hightower, Stacey Pates down in the field. My name is Ben Olden. Happy Father's Day. And Brian, you've been around this league. You've seen every player in it. You've done a ton of games in it all year. Who are your top guys this year?
A lot of special players in the MLR, but let's take a look at a few of them. Brad Tucker, the smooth ginger Kiwi, always there in support. Great year. And the silk of Joe Peterson. How about this South African? Lots of big game moments for Joe, and delivered. Tristan Blewett, so good that Sean Payton invited him to the New Orleans Saints minicamp last week.
Yeah.
And how about Dylan Fawcett, great in the set pieces, but likes to linger on the wing, as all good front rowers do. And finally, a piece of corn-fed Iowa beef. John Ryberg, trucking people all year long.
Hate to have to tackle him. More to come here from halftime here between San Diego and Seattle. We'll hear from the commissioner of the MLR after a short timeout here on CBS. Okay. What's the traffic? Got it. Yep, cool. Whoop. Cool, man. Thanks, dude. Just gonna sit for a minute. Yep, I got it, man. All set. Tough in that bathroom line. Talk my way to the front. They were cool. All right, we're back here pretty quick. I got to pay attention here. Happy Father's Day. Welcome back to San Diego, California. Great to see the youth here watching this rugby match, this championship game. Saturday at 8, summer hoop season is here with former All-Stars and legends taking the court for the debut of the Big Three right here on CBS. Down to the pitch, Stacey Pate standing by with the commissioner of Major League Rugby.
And what an exciting time it is for the MLR. Dean Howes, when you look at the turnout today, the crowd that has turned up for this match, how exciting in just its second season.
Well, it's a sellout crowd. You can't beat that. It's mostly San Diego, and you can hear them and feel them, so that's wonderful, too. To have a home team playing is wonderful.
It is, and let's talk a little bit more about that. Is this a championship that dreams are made of, number one versus number two?
Oh, it really is, right? I mean, and the closeness of the game, it's kind of gone back and forth, so it's everything. We want the second half to be the same as the first half.
We are excited to see the second half as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Gents, back to you in just a few minutes, but first we're going to take this commercial break. It is a tight one here, 14-6. Stay tuned.
Rugby Championship on CBS Sports is sponsored by California Almonds. Own your everyday, every day. The Major League Rugby Championship on CBS Sports is sponsored by California Almonds. Own your everyday, every day.
I may move here, seriously, Brian. That's a look at Scripps Pier just north here in La Jolla, California. The moving pictures from the opening half. Take us through those, Brian.
Well, a couple of kicks from JP Peterson, but normally these kicks are kicked into touch and then they trust their forwards for rolling mauls and they try to score tries, but I think Seattle's in their head a little bit. And here's why, because Seattle starts with the defense and then they finish with the tries, and that's just a smart move, a heads-up play. The short line-out ball to J.P. Smith, and this game is pretty even in most categories. You see the number of lineouts, just a reflection of how many kicks have been put into touch, but territory, possession, all just about dead even. The difference so far has been one missed tackle on George Barton down in the San Diego half, and otherwise we'd be a point or two away from being tied up here.
So that's what San Diego has done in their first and second halves respectively, as Peterson will kick it away from the halfway line alongside former USA Eagle Brian Hightower. Stacey Pates down on the pitch. My name is Ben Holden. Great to have you with us. Happy Father's Day. Say happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. My father Tom watching with my mom in the great state of Florida. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching here today. This is Major League Rugby, the championship between the defending champion Seattle, who just took that kick, and the San Diego Legion. San Diego the 1 seed, Seattle the 2. Seattle knocked San Diego out last year in the semifinals. Back to Sema, and there's one of those kicks into touch, or is it? No, nicely played by Wuching. He got it. Here comes Enosa now with speed, but he is dropped in his tracks there by Stoller. They get it back to Patty Ryan. He's a load. Dropped by 2 Seawolves. Played back to Peterson. Murno had it out of his hands, and they're gonna blow this dead.
Well, everything started well for San Diego as we see the Furno knock on there. Unfortunate, it had really played into their hands. First, the ball doesn't find touch. Instead, Psalm Wuching grabs it and starts play, but the ball back inside instead of using their backs. And still, I think that this San Diego Legion team playing a little bit conservative right now, and they're going to have to start to open things up a little bit to get back to within what Seattle's done so far.
Yeah, 8-point lead for Seattle. San Diego 2-0 this season against Seattle. And Smith will set it here on the scrum.
6. Keep working here, boys. Use it now. Nate, thank you.
Padding got it out of there. Now Sema. Suniola. He was quickly dropped.
Tyanosa's in trouble.
He is.
He's in trouble.
Still
referee
down, yes.
Referee needs to call this.
Heavy shot. Still no whistle as Smith kicks it away. Peterson's got it. Enosa still down, being tended to.
Okay.
There you see him.
All right, Scott Green's calling this because Enosa needs attention. This is just part of the concussion protocol. He ran hard into Suniula.
Serious injury on the field, boys. Time off.
So you hear from Scott Green there. The clock is stopped here. And Ty Enosa, who stepped in last week without Mikey Teo.
Change his channel so he hit the play away.
Playing that fullback spot. Let's look back at it.
Big shot here. The step inside by Suniula, and it's just, these are 2 old friends. Head is down there and runs right into the leg
let's take care of this guy.
Of Suniula.
JP, so we just confirmed that just a rugby incident here, rugby injury. No foul play. We'll restart there with a scrum at the catch. Yeah.
So they had another look at it just to make sure that the injury resulted just from a rugby play, which it did. And now Enosa sitting up, and that's a great sign.
Yeah, it is.
For his family. Talk about Father's Day. 5 little Enosas watching their old man, and he's moving, and that's great. But his day is done here at Torero Stadium, and so now Rob Hoadley going to have to make some changes in the back line.
What do you anticipate there?
Well, you wonder, Connor Kearns is a natural fullback wearing the 14 jersey. They could bring in Kyle Rogers or Will Holder, and Holder has played a few different positions, the former West Point grad.
Yep.
And we'll see what the indication is.
Enosa
And in fact,
it is Holder.
It is Holder. And
number 23.
Yeah, and Holder is coming in to play fly half now. Joe Peterson slips back to his natural position, which is fullback. It's where he played most of his Super Rugby back in South Africa. And so this is a natural move for both of them. Look at Will Holder as more of a natural running threat than Peterson.
We happy here with your marks, boys?
There's Holder. You see substitution. He's in now, as Ryan mentioned, the former West Pointer.
By the way, just a last chance to say all the best to Ty Enosa. He did such a great job, the former U.S. Eagle. Such a great job to come back and be in contention and have Rob Hoadley use him.
And the man he collided with there, former teammate, right?
Indeed, and they're both good friends, and that's, you know, nobody feeling this more than Shalom Suniula, who wishes his mate was back on the field.
Such respect in this great sport of rugby. Scott Green getting him set.
And the scrum still hasn't moved more than a couple inches, and Scott Green allowing the ball to be played as soon as it's won at the back. Again, stalemate there.
Rolled in, waiting for it to come out, Hatting, and he gets a pile of bodies on top of him.
This is huge. You know, sometimes what happens is you get a player injured. You start to get a little bit more of that grit, a little more of that steely look in your eye. I'd expect the San Diego Legion right now to try to take a chance.
Now that's camera work.
Now, and interestingly, you see Peterson move back to his natural fly half position and shift Holder out to the wing.
Peterson wearing that 10.
Look, and Rob Hoadley, the head coach of San Diego, has crossed every T and dotted every I. They've anticipated a scenario like this. There's a little pod. You can see Kearns has come in off the blindside wing.
Boys!
See the story on knock-on, 6-1, San Diego in that department. Finally out of there, Augsburger played it on, out wide. Now there's Holder just into the game. Beg your pardon, that was not Holder, that was Boyer 11. He's dropped, taken out of there by San Diego. Quick tackle immediately made there on the ball carrier for the Legion. This is Holder now, and Holder pushed back in his tracks. Monty Harris got it. He had some key plays in the first half of this match. Peterson now. Patty Ryan will try to plow his way through there. Crowd into it. Peterson now. Duplessis inside of the 5-meter taken down. Dug out of there. Back to Furno. Furno trying to get to the try line. He's close, but not there yet. The battle ensues. Augsburger to Stanfill. Stanfill comes up about a meter short. Augsburger to Ryan. Ryan trying to drag a defender. Still on his feet.
Numbers outside for San Diego.
What a battle. Augsburger. See if they go there. Looks like they are, Brian. They get it into the hands of Mattias, and it's knocked on out of bounds into touch. What a sequence.
Well, Mattias trying to squeeze through two defenders. He wanted that outside shoulder, and he's trying to get his hands free to pass it because he's got two backs on the outside, and he instead, ball goes forward. Watch him try to split the backs there. Tries to get outside shoulder on Suniula. Great tackle there by Shalom.
Yes.
And unfortunate, that's great work. And maybe you can make the case Mattias gives that early, and there's a try in the corner. That's the best chance that San Diego has had in the last 30 minutes of rugby.
40-minute halves.
And they're starting to open things up. I told you they were playing conservatively. That pod that they had in the middle in the first set piece move off of the scrum and then starting to open things up out wide, and that could be dangerous for Seattle.
Seattle, the top team in the scrum department, 95.6. They've got the scrum. It'll be rolled in by Smith, their scrum half. Today is Brian's touchdown. It has been just an absolute war of attrition in this department. Played back to Barton. Seattle trying to get it outside of their 22. Holder trying to get down Barton, and he is a load. And a good run there by Barton. Smith, the left foot high, over the halfway line. Fielded by Peterson. The dangerous Joe Peterson fakes, and then he's dropped by J.P. Smith. Duplessis for Mattias. Mattias can't get through. Turner the tackle. Augsburger's got it. Played it on to Monihera. He's hit hard and dropped. Augsburger to Patty Ryan. Ryan taking on 2 defenders. I love watching him play. He's fun to watch. San Diego taken down there on the play. Good tackle made by the Seawolves.
Kearns almost loses it. The hit from Samu Manoa comes in. He manages to hold on to it.
Hands away.
Back to work go the Legion. Played back to Patty Ryan. Getting a piece there was Sears Duru. Down to the 5-meter. Close to that try line. Can San Diego punch this in? No. And it's dropped by Sema.
It's okay. The advantage was being played. There was already one knock on by San Diego. Ben Sema gets a free play in goal there. The crowd's pretty upset about it. They wanted that knock on in goal.
Here's a look at it, Brian.
Yeah, it just gets passed out here. And Sema, here comes the pressure. Inferno standing 6'7".
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he wasn't going to let the ball leave the foot of Sema. Things starting to click a little bit for San Diego. Now they've got the territory, but we saw in the first half they got to bring points out of this great possession.
For me, mate. Yep.
San Diego's points. They had a 6-0 lead in the first half of this match. Both kicks by Joe Peterson.
Timing, Nate. Timing, Nate. Yep.
Looking for their first try. Here's the scrum.
This would be a great moment for the scrum of San Diego to be able to take a step forward.
6.
Been a stalemate all day.
Wait, dear boys. Just wait. Thank you.
Taken out of there. Sema gets it. On the pass from Smith, and then that one goes into touch.
Alive. Yeah, and that one's okay because it's just to the 22-meter line, so ends up being in San Diego's favor. They've yielded a little bit of territory, but they're going to get the ball back. And once again, Pifoletti, he's got to make this throw. This is a huge line out, perhaps the most important line out so far today. Look at the work down there. That is Nakai Penny doing the work on the ground. Got every right to that ball because he's there first. Strips it from Ryan. Great job by the Canadian international. He has definitely gotten the eye of Kingsley Jones, the Canadian head coach. He is a good one.
Product of Penticton, BC, British Columbia. And they tried a little tricky play there on that line out. It didn't connect though with Augsburger. Instead of going up high in the air, they kept it down on the pitch. We saw Seattle in the same neighborhood over there back in the first half score on a line out that went into the hands of J.P. Smith.
Well, they're going to end up losing about 5 meters on this because it'll be San Diego line out once again, but that's San Diego trying to do a tricky line out to Augsburger coming in, except it's a knock on instead.
Get down to Stacy Pates for an update. Stacy.
One of the things that head coach of the San Diego Legion, Rob Hoadley, told me was they have each guy has their specific line of defense, emotionally, mentally, what they're supposed to add to the game. That means each guy has their point of focus. Any way they can do to eliminate the chatter, take them back to what they need to focus on. That was something that Rob Hoadley told them on. You know each of your jobs, focus on those jobs.
Thank you, Stacy, as we get back to it here. Sema the tackle for Seattle, number 10, their fly half. Augsburger's got it now. Nifty back pass there with one hand to Duplessis. And he was taken down by Matt Turner. Stanfield gets it out. Ryan, short touch there. Didn't result in much, but it's taken out by Augsburger. Into the hands there of Nathan Sylvia. Back to Peterson. Looks like he thought about kicking that. Faked it. Mattias outside. Here they go. Toward the try line. And they take it in. It's taken in by Nick Boyer. And the try for San Diego gives them 5.
Well, they had to have it. Boyer just does his job. Catches the ball. Look at the work by Augsburger and the pass back inside. No look, backhand flip to Duplessis. Great inside move, but then this work, and Mattias gets rid of the ball there. The pass by Joseph Malua. And Boyer alone on the corner. That was a huge try. San Diego had to score, in my opinion, there. They had way too much possession, all the territory, and if they came away with no points there, it was going to be trouble for the Legion. But they get it over, and now Peterson, so often called for to make these difficult kicks. We'll see if he can get them within 1.
Awful similar to the one he kicked at the end of the match in the semifinal at the other end of the pitch last week to give San Diego a 2-point victory and send them on here. Peterson. And Peterson does his job. Joe Peterson, the crowd here in San Diego going nuts. It's a 1-point game, Brian.
And the finishing work by Boyer, again, that's his job. Stay on the corner, catch the ball, score the try, but it's the work of everybody else who touched it before him that gets him that possession.
Watch this reaction.
Yeah, and this is the people standing behind Joe Peterson during the kick. They
Great
knew
picture.
he had it.
That's tremendous. So Boyer, I believe you mentioned it in the first half, but he was the scrum half in the semifinal last year when these two teams met when Seattle won. It's a product of that great Cal program. And now San Diego, they get the ball back.
Substitution starting to come in for both teams. You see both teams with front row substitution. Nate Sylvia from Cal Poly in for the Legion.
Here's Turner with it, just over the halfway line. Rock ensues.
Billy Tolata'u.
It's your guy.
Yeah, that's definitely.
He's got the best hair in the league.
It's Stacey Pates' favorite player by far, and he's back. And you can tell he's coming from the big toothy smile that he carries.
Yeah. This one bouncing away from Peterson. In fact, he was the MVP of the finals last year. Was Vili. Well, let's get down to Stacey for more on that young man you were just talking about. Stacey.
I'm going to say second best hair in the league, just because mine is a lot heavier on my head. That's what I'm going to say. But I do love me some Billy Tolata'u. He is the kind of guy always smiling. I saw him during warm-ups, and I said, hey, where have you been, vacation? And, of course, he started dying laughing. He's like, oh, my goodness, I'm so happy to be back with my team. They've missed him. He brings a certain energy that cannot be duplicated. So watch him at home if you need a little extra pick-me-up in this one.
Yeah, he'll do that.
We've been giving Billy a little bit of shtick because his hair, he was supposed to get a haircut last week.
I heard that.
We saw the big afro, and it turns out he actually did have a haircut. That's
he got it trimmed?
That's the result. He's still got tons of lettuce up top.
Oh, 14-13 Seattle. We got a scrum coming up here, Brian.
Yeah, Kearns, remember, we saw Tyanosa already go down.
Yes.
Peterson shifted to fullback for most defensive sets. Connor Kearns now getting up a little bit slow. They got a couple of options off the bench in the form of Kyle Rogers and a big Fijian, Sevenatha Toto Vasal, who can be a difference maker.
Good to see there is
Kearns up and ready to play.
Yep.
You can see Dean Weir, the backup hooker for San Diego, warming up below us. Richie Walker, the head coach of Seattle, likes to substitute in waves like hockey lines. He'll bring in 3 or 4 at the same time. Hasn't subbed out J.P. Smith yet, though. Likes the way his number 9 is playing. 1-point game. It's awesome here in Torero Stadium.
It really is. What an environment. And they're going to have to do this again. It was trapped inside of feet.
And it's crabbing across, so no advantage here.
Straight across, boys.
That's really the first time we've seen this scrum move, and a lot of it is because of the substitutions that have been made. Tim Metcher, the stable tight head for Seattle,
I can't award you,
has been taken out.
Number 3.
And you can see there's no advantage. It's coming sideways.
Yep. Here's some marks.
Hatting was trying to get it. He just couldn't get a handle on it.
Yeah, well, he thought it was his ball. And the referee says, look, I can't award you for a scrum that's going sideways.
Yep.
Good call by the Kiwi.
JP Smith will roll it in again here.
Bind. Sit. Steady up. Here we go. Use it now, please.
Hatting put it back there for Smith. Seema outside to Barton. Barton trying to break the tackle of Duplessis. He did. Stoller, big boy, the Canadian, pushing ahead. Look at the push.
Well, this might end up going in San Diego's favor if the ball can't be played. Well, and that's a great job. You know, first Duplessis misses the tackle on Barton, but Barton's a load. I'm surprised Barton's still in the game, carrying that frame around into the 60th minute. But
Subs
then
coming in now for Seattle.
They hold up Stoller on the corner, turn that run into a maul. As a result, they are allowed to go down to the ground with the ball. And watch this. Nick Boyer, here comes Holder to help.
Yes.
Here's Duplessis.
12.
The maul has been called, and now if the ball can't be played when it goes down, it goes to San Diego. Great job on defense.
So they get to initiate the scrum. You just said, and you pointed out the booth here, Barton coming out of the game now.
And you know,
and Phil Mack in too now for Seattle.
Put your hands together for that man, George Barton. He had a massive game for the Seattle Seawolves. And now Roland Suniula, the older brother of Shalom, takes the midfield with little bro.
Just so we have those two straight, Shalom number 12, Roland 22 for Seattle.
Speaking of Father's Day, Roland expecting one.
Nice.
Shalom's got a couple.
It's great.
Boys!
And now, I mean, just look.
It's been like this all day, right?
This is 16 tired bodies.
Yeah.
And they came to the dance with a lot of energy, and it started to sap them here. And the next 20 minutes, crucial. Whichever 8-man scrum can find the energy, the reserves, the little something extra to pull out of them, might have a hand in deciding this game.
Okay, just hold our weight, guys. Crouch.
Scott Green gets him set.
Binds. Sit. Stay up, keep working.
Easier said than done, but these men are doing just that. Ball out of there. The far touchline. Battle ensues.
Stay out, Green. Stay there, boys.
San Diego almost makes a hash of that. Great pressure from Seattle. Somehow the Legion keep possession.
MLR championship game. They call it the quest for the shield here in the MLR.
Wait there, just be patient, mate. Yep.
Seattle won the inaugural one last season on this very pitch, the pristine pitch here in San Diego. Now the Seawolves looking to get it over the halfway line. It's Stoller.
Stoller's got to make that pass. It's got to come to Turner earlier. They got a chance out wide.
Here's Hassler, broke a tackle. We haven't called his name a whole lot. You surprised by that?
Yeah, well, I think it's because of the amount of kicking we've seen from Seema and JP Smith, but that ball was juicy. Needed to get out of the hands of Stoller to the number 15, Turner, and he had Hassler on his hip.
Into the middle of the pitch it goes. Not much there for Seattle. San Diego's line did a good job slowing him up. Shalom Suniula, he gave it off there. Not last year's MVP.
Kick and chase coming from Boyer.
Played by the scrum half, JP Smith. Now Roland Suniula.
Okay, let him go now. Thank you.
Phil Mack takes it out. Riekert Hatting, short touch there, got it into the hands there of Brad Tucker. Mack finds the open teammate, not much there at all. Lou Stanfill on top of the ball carrier for Seattle.
Kellen Gordon, one of the reserve props. Smith looks to hack it downfield.
Touch, hold on, touch.
Just that. Holder on to Peterson, takes a look, uses that right boot.
Okay, we're on now.
Matt Turner's got it. He surveys.
Green, keep coming, come out of the 10, Green.
Sends it high and kicks it into touch.
Yep. Hydration. Break.
So we're inside of 20 minutes remaining in this match. Championship game as San Diego down by 1 in a great battle here in California.
You're squeezing, aren't you, buddy? Oh, there it is. Okay, right, yeah. Same again for the last 20. CNO, just CNO stuff. Huh? Yeah. Another one? In the front row? No. Oh, for who? Yeah.
Still have a player. It's fair.
An absolutely jam-packed Torero Stadium here in San Diego. Seattle on top by 1. You want your sports news without the yelling and fake debates? Well, you can stream CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 network for nonstop highlights and news. And download the CBS Sports app today. Let's get down to Stacey Pates down on the pitch. She's got an update on Tyanosa. Stacey.
Ben, thank you so much. I've been observing him since that injury. It is confirmed it was a head injury, but they'll have to do a deeper evaluation after. In the meantime, what they're doing is checking on him very frequently. He did say that he's having neck pain, so he will put ice on the back of that neck. They check on him frequently to make sure he's still not showing signs of a concussion or anything of that nature. He is one of the many workhorses that make up the San Diego Legion, and Brian, you can tell us what is missing without Tyanosa.
Yeah, great spark plug for Nosa. He came on to replace Mikey Teo, who was one of the best fullbacks in the league. So you just got to play on, and it's, you know, the next player up. Raise your hand. And speaking of the next player up, there is CC Mahoney, 6'8", 300 pounds of him, who's checked in, wearing the number 19 for the Legion, as has Pat Blair, wearing 20.
Play on.
All played by Hassler for Seattle.
Right here, Josh.
Seattle on top here by 1.
It's still in.
Less than 20 to go in the championship match here. Season 2 of Major League Rugby. Seattle trying to make it back-to-back. Wins, and a big hit delivered just over the halfway line.
Will Holder just introduced himself to Billy Tolitau. Says, welcome back to the MLR, my man.
He did play a little football at West Point for former coach Rich Ellerson. Played 1 year and then decided to play rugby.
Brad Tucker trying to do a little bit too much. Frees the hands, sees Hassler outside, but throws the ball forward. What a great hit by Holder. Check this out. Tolitau in the air, down and into the shoulder of Holder.
Textbook, right?
Textbook tackle.
Just make sure you play.
Great job of Tolitau to hold on to that ball, set up another phase. Hey, look, you know what? You expect to get hit in this game.
It's right here.
A couple of more substitutions made as Penny comes out there. Also coming out, P. Nakatini. So you've got Eric Duchel, number 20, in for Seattle. And Jeremy Leonards as well. He wears number 19.
Yeah, all available subs. And there's a few more being held on the bench. Looks like by San Diego. Haven't seen Tota Vasau. Haven't seen Kyle Rogers yet for San Diego.
See those substitutions I mentioned there. The scrum now for San Diego.
Advantage.
Taken out of there by Augsburger. Peterson goes wide. Holder gave it off. Now they go wide on the outside. Coming with speed is San Diego. They get inside of Seattle territory. Ball goes up. And they'll stop this. It's
no advantage.
Yeah, long advantage being played by Scott Green. Way back here, it was an infraction at the scrum. I believe it was wheeling the scrum from Seattle.
seen a lot of that today, haven't we?
One, across. Number one.
Yeah, not pushing
Skipping
straight.
out.
So
going across.
he's calling the loose head prop there. Looks like Kellen Gordon, and he's said Kellen Gordon wasn't pushing straight in the scrum. Take a look here. And you have to push straight. And this is a tough angle to see, but yeah, it's called boring in. You never want to accuse a player of boring or being boring.
No. Usually not a good thing in whatever verbiage it is. So now we got a line out coming here for San Diego.
Down by one at home, 20 minutes left. This is what you want. You couldn't script a better game so far.
Incredible environment here in this Major League Rugby Championship game, year number 2. Inferno up high. They can get him way up in the air. He's caught in there.
Yeah, it's a low throw, but success nonetheless, because nobody went up for Seattle to compete.
He's still caught in there, Inferno. Can't get out. He's pinned.
This is the rolling ball. He's exactly where he wants to be.
Yeah.
No, stay.
Continuing out with that rolling ball. Rolling along pretty well.
Yeah, Dean Weir at the back here. Augsburger's going to finally, well, if they're going to keep mauling this thing all the way towards the goal line. Finally, it's brought down.
They're trying to. Crowd going crazy.
Advantage offsides by Brad Tucker.
Now it's handled. Duplessis got it. Duplessis slowed up, though, just shy of the try line.
Mattias wants it on the corner.
And they try on the outside of that pile. No indication yet. Scott Green, the referee, right there. And what do we got?
No clear grounding here.
Wow.
If the ball touches the base of the post, that's as good as the try line. And it's a score.
Suniolas.
Yeah, he's
just helping do a little housekeeping there.
You know what? Those two are two good friends, Ryan Mattias and Shalom Suniola. Wow. They're having a joke about where the ball was. Was it grounded on the base of the post?
My on-field decision.
Let's listen.
Is I have a grounding at the base of the post by 8 red. So on-field decision would be a try. I just need for you to check the grounding for me, please.
Scott Green. Communication there, talking with the television match official. Take a peek back at it here.
Yep. Woody, got anything, Ted, from your side, mate? Yeah.
It's Jordan Manahara
that extended out there. Yeah.
And you can see that arm extended. Did he touch the base of that post? Suniola trying to prevent it.
So close.
Well, Scott Green right there.
He is.
He's got a good angle on it.
Okay.
It's hidden from our view.
At least on that angle it is.
Okay, go ahead. I got you, Dave.
Had drama here last week. San Diego coming away.
Okay, confirming on-field decision try.
Oh my! Get ready for the eruption.
It's a try. 5 points. And San Diego's got the lead. Up by 4 with a conversion upcoming. Would put them up by 6, Brian.
Well, you can talk about Jordan Manahara and the work he did to get the ball to the base of the post, but credit the 8 men. The rolling maul for San Diego that marched 30 meters down the field.
Kick is good by Peterson. The Legion now up by 6. One more look there, and then the reacts from Jordan Manahara. And Seattle will kick it away to San Diego. Head coach Rob Hoadley looking on from up top. Inferno gets a lift there.
Hey, Josh, let him go. Let him go.
Augsburger comes away with it and sends this one high.
And yeah, this is a mistake. It's a mistake by Augsburger because he's already in front of the 22-meter line, and he hooks that ball downfield, but it needs to touch infield first. It doesn't, so a scrum.
Seattle in their last two. You did their game last week. They have not been good in the second half.
Well, they came out
scoring-wise.
Such a blistering pace in the first half. And yeah, last week in Toronto, their backs were up against the wall. They needed to score some tries to get back in it, and they did. I've seen Seattle pull out their defense when it matters most. Oh, and that ball overthrown.
Trying to tap it on there. Now Mattias outside. Good run from him. Picked up some good green grass there, and that productive run. Dug out of there. Now into the hands of Mahoney, the 300-pounder.
Great train.
Wow.
Sorry, boss.
Now Peterson plays this one. Matt Turner back there took a very good bounce because Hassler had to play it. Hassler trying to make something happen. He's dropped in the open field. Good tackle by Augsburger. Taken out by Phil Mack.
I'll tell you what, Augsburger's done great today on defense. A little general at scrum half. He's put down anybody with the ball in front of him. Doesn't matter the size. Gotta love the tenacity of that player.
Sent downfield, Will Holder. Station here in San Diego, California.
That's a good kick. It's going to hang up.
Now Mack in trouble. Got away from Holder. Phil Mack, the veteran, is Wu-Ching right there to drop him. Good, aggressive, smart play by Saul Wu-Ching. Heavy hit there on Suniola. San Diego trying to pin him and get it back and add to their lead. Inside of 12 minutes to play in the match. What a match this has been for the MLR Championship. This one's going to come into touch down below us.
I'll tell you what, that was great work. Phil Mack back to receive that ball. A lot of pressure coming down from Connor Kearns. There's Turner. Turner has a great play to come in and clean up this ruck. Watch Mack. Now he's going to need help. He's got Sam Wu-Ching and a big party with him.
That was Blair.
And Turner does just enough. Otherwise, it's a sea of red turning that ball over.
So it'll be a San Diego line out.
Just be a little bit quicker. I want the free kick you guys late in the game.
So
let's go.
San Diego getting their guys in the line. They shift. They want Furno. I would too with 6'7". He gives it off to Money Hera there.
It's over now.
Mahoney trying to help him out, pull him along.
So, yeah, it's obstruction there.
Shifted.
Prevented Seattle basically from being able to contest.
Yeah. You go, boys.
Seattle now in a position where they're going to have to start.
You keep your boys straight.
Thinking desperation.
So Seattle, they get lined up. Phil Mack, their scrum half now, came in as one of their reserves. Seawolves came in, the top team in the MLR, at 95.6 in the scrum department, Brian. They've lost only one today.
5, 6.
Inside of 10 minutes remaining in this match. Mack digs it out of there. Here's Hassler. Good tackle made there by Pat Blair. Seawolves get it back now. They're down in this match by 6. So they're trying a conversion. They're on top and away from the play. Mack and Money Hera went at it. Now Seattle into open field. And Peterson makes the tackle there on Coetzee.
Space out for Hassler.
It's Hassler. Hassler inside of the 5-meter.
Stay out,
Ball released. Seawolves get it. Riekert Hadding denied.
Line, boys.
San Diego trying to hold the line here. Mack directing traffic for Seattle. Seawolves.
Okay, a new advantage.
So close, no indication yet. They still battle and push doing everything they can to get in there and get the 5. They get it free!
Try. Will, don't be shouting like that, Will.
Seattle.
Excuse me.
At the bottom of the pile is Hatting, and that was quite the battle. Bodies all over the pitch.
You can see a little extra
right there,
in the midfield, but Coach C finds some space, and this is what springs the Seawolves. Almost had Hatting inside him, doesn't give the ball up, and Hatting will find a way over anyways. Big try for the recently U.S. eligible South African Riekert Hatting.
We're good, gentlemen. Yes, we're happy.
Some medical attention there is Riekert Hatting, 24-year-old.
I tell you what,
everybody's getting medical attention now, right?
You know, we talked before the game about the quality of the kickers. Joe Peterson and Brock Stoller for the Seawolves. You want to earn your money right here, Brock Stoller? You got to put this one over. This is an enormous kick. This is the biggest kick Brock Stoller has lined up all season long.
First in Major League Rugby in points, 217 when this contest started. 27-year-old out of Surrey, British Columbia. Stoller up, and Stoller.
He's missed it.
He didn't get it. And it remains a 1-point lead. As you see Hatting, the blood dripping off of him. San Diego claims the 1-point lead, Brian.
How huge. You go back to Joe Peterson's sideline conversion.
Yeah.
That is the difference in this game right now.
2 straight weeks he's done that. Last week, a lot more dramatic, but basically the same kick, right? The same spot, Peterson boots it away. Quickly down there was Boyer. Mattias in the neighborhood, number 13 for San Diego as well. Seawolves down by 1. 6.5 and counting remaining in the match. Championship shield on the line here in San Diego. Legion trying to make something happen now. Dug out of there.
It's going backwards.
Furno's got it. Gets it back to Peterson. Peterson, he'll get it back. Peterson to Holder, and Hassler takes him down.
Great decision by Hassler to come off his wing. He had to make that tackle, and he times it perfectly. Seattle got to have the ball back. 5 minutes left.
Augsburger to Peterson. Peterson now. He spins one there to Mattias. Mattias dropped. They're approaching the 22-meter line. Mahoney's got it. Seattle trying to stand tall here. And Seattle, Hatting's got it now. Riekert Hatting.
Knock on by Nate Sylvia and gives Seattle a chance.
Knocked there by.
Yeah, and here's another knock on, and this is from Dean Weir. Huge scrum. They're going to come back for the first knock on from the hands of Sylvia. Well,
coming up on 5 minutes to play in the match,
Brian. They got a long way to go, and they're facing the toughest defense in the MLR. About
that they are
75 meters to go for Seattle.
Seattle came in, had allowed allowed 318 points, 18.7 a game. San Diego's defense, Seattle came in averaging 33 a game. Listen to this place. What an environment here in San Diego, California.
The ground absolutely shaking under our feet here in the booth.
It is
a great atmosphere at Torero Stadium. Seattle has a chance.
This is Rugby America, and between the legs there, and Peterson right there.
Well, it was a wow. Listen to this crowd go crazy.
Unreal. Under 4 to play the match.
It wasn't a great pass from Phil Mack. It's a catchable one. Duplessis has to have that ball. Sorry, JP Smith.
Yep.
Has to have that ball. And he can't find the handle.
Rick, let's go. Just step back off to your
Coming up on 3.5 to play in the match. San Diego, a 1-point lead. No San Diego professional sports team has won a championship since 1963. That was way back in the AFL days. The Chargers.
Crouch!
Scrum for San Diego.
5.
On top by a point.
6.
Sent in by Augsburger. Augsburger's got it now. Back to Will Holder. Augsburger in the back. Directing traffic. He wants Big Mahoney. And there's Mahoney, the 300-pounder, nearly lost it, but managed to hold on to it. Now another big young lad is Furno. He's dropped. Approaching 2.5 remaining here in this match. Into the hands there of Dino Waldron, number 18. They get it back. Peterson, try one, Peterson! And Peterson does it!
Goodness.
He puts it through for 3! 23-19 San Diego!
You want to talk about ice water in your veins. This to put the game away. To force Seattle into scoring a try in the last 2 minutes. Although we saw that here.
Yes, we did.
Just last week.
And to touch this one goes. Joe Peterson.
Look, and credit all the backs, and Joe Peterson's been phenomenal all year and throughout this series. But the forwards of San Diego, they got a culture here, led by the trench master himself, Lou Stanfield.
Yes.
But all of these guys, they refer to themselves as the Rhinos, and they have gone to work. They've dug in hard for every truffle.
Time is the enemy right now of the 2018 MLR champions, Seattle Seawolves. A little over a minute left. They win the lineout. Mack gets it back. Roland Suniula dropped. Over the top there was Wuching. Mack will get it out of there. Plays it back into the hands of Shalom Suniula. Here comes Seattle now. And they get inside of San Diego territory.
High tackle advantage, and this might be a yellow card.
Wouldn't that be something at this stage? We'll look back at that high tackle you referenced on Stoller.
Nick Boyer goes up high.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's actually two high tackles.
Yeah.
First Boyer gets him.
There's that
then
shield.
Duplessis gets him.
Yep. Shield
That's not a high tackle. This is a high tackle.
goes to the winner.
Well, you know, and consistency by Scott Green. He's not going to send anyone off in the final seconds of this match. He's going to make the Seattle Seawolves earn it. And I tell you what, they got a chance. One of the best rolling mauls. If this line out hits, and that's a great kick.
Beautiful.
They are about 10 meters away.
J.P. Smith there.
Our very impartial stats man, Wags, well known here in San Diego. He is sweating right now.
I think everyone is.
He knows a good front row when he sees one, and a good rolling maul, and here it comes.
Here's the
Patty,
line out.
watch Seattle go to work. Danger time for San Diego. They need to put everything into this.
They're giving it a shot. Here it comes. They're still going at him. Still going at it. Seattle close to that try line. The Seawolves trying to force their way in there. And Seattle, they do it. Wow. Their fans are in disbelief. They're all stunned. So is Rob Hoadley, the San Diego coach. Peterson can't believe it. An unbelievable turn of events to The final minutes and seconds of this game, Brian.
Yeah, find the ball here. I think it's Torero Weiler. It's not Ilnicki.
That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Sam Wuching there. Can't believe what just happened to his squad.
Oh my. Well, we said last week it happened in the same dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
This crowd just went from elation to heartbreak.
Stunned. Unreal.
Yep.
San Diego fans cannot believe it. Stoller looking to put his team on top by 3 if he can convert here with the kick. Top scorer in the league this season, Brock Stoller. Stoller on the boot, and he puts it right between the posts. And it's 26-23. And they've got a 3-point lead. And they've called the game. That's it. Seattle defends the championship. They make it back-to-back here in Major League Rugby with a thrilling and dramatic finish here in San Diego. The Shield will stay with Seattle.
Incredible finish. You just saw Seattle sit down in the stands. All the fans wearing green when Joe Peterson knocked that drop kick over, but a little bit of a lifeline with the penalty. The high tackle on Brock Stoller, and then such a clinical touch finder. I'll tell you what a great match.
Unreal. And the Seawolves, they keep the shield. The quest for the shield results in another shield for Seattle.
Total team performances on both sides of the ball.
That one is a little bit easy. Last year, the shield was 80 pounds, I was told. They redefined it. It's now roughly 20 pounds. And the Seattle Seawolves faithful that made their way here. And what a unbelievable finish to this match here, Brian.
Yeah, it's still getting confirmation on who scored this.
Yeah.
At the box, you see, even J.P. Smith comes in to be a forward. That is a great try.
That is incredible. Richie Walker there, the head coach, middle of your screen. Suniola and company. Barton comes in as they hoist the shield as their Major League Rugby champions for the 2nd consecutive year. The San Diego Legion, the top seed, they lose last year in the semifinals to Seattle. They had them here on their home pitch. Could not get it done as the Seawolves powered and bullied their way once again for the try. And the San Diego fans are stunned. Absolutely.
They're absolutely stunned. They don't know what to do. Nobody can move. They're frozen. They can't believe what just happened right in front of their eyes. 4-point lead with just a few ticks left on the clock. And, well, we mentioned how good the maul was, but a few things had to happen. They had to have a break. They got one in the form of the penalty. Yep. They had to have a great touch finder, and then they had to have a spot on throw. All 3 came together.
The Seawolves continue to celebrate. We'll have a lot more. We've got to take a break here on CBS. From dejection, just stunned disbelief for San Diego, to the victory again, the champions Seattle. We got a lot more coming back on CBS after this.